Welcome back to Ozarks Fox AM. Today on Positively Kelly, I want to talk about how we can do away with some of the limiting beliefs that we sometimes encounter. I want to tell you a story about a man that was passing by some elephants that were held by small ropes tied to their front legs. Now, there were no chains or cages, just small ropes. Obviously, the elephants would be able to break away easily and walk away. The man asked the trainer why they didn't. He explained that when the elephants were young, the ropes were placed on their legs and that at that time it would hold them. They were conditioned to believe that they had no choice but to stay where they were, even though they had outgrown them. Now, often we are conditioned, just like elephants, to believe things that are no longer true, or maybe they actually never were. Make sure you're not buying into what someone else has told you that you're not capable of. You have far too much potential to be limited by someone else's rhetoric, no matter how much you love them or respect them. The next topic is value. Now, a very well-known speaker once stood in front of a conference room holding up a $20 bill. "Who wants this?" he asked. All the hands in the room went up. Next, he dropped it on the floor, he stomped on it, crumbled it, he picked it back up and said, "Who wants this?" Again, all the hands in the room shot up. Why? Because no matter what abuse the $20 bill took, the audience still understood that it had value. How many times have we, because of things we've gone through in life, felt less valuable? Seriously? We as humans who have been created by God and not by man actually believe that our failures, our mistakes make us less valuable? No, they make us human. Don't confuse that. This is a common feeling, and it affects how we interact in society with our friends, with our family, and it can become a lack of self-esteem, which can do a lot of damage. When you don't feel good about yourself, it can affect all of your relationships and how we interact with people. Now, people need relationship. We are created for it. Unfortunately, the suicide rate is way too high in this country, and it is also crept into our younger generation, maybe because of social media and all the bullying that goes on there. Also, it could be a lack of personal interaction these days because everyone is so engaged on their phones, we don't take time for each other. Now, there was a story out of Arizona where recently a man was on a bridge over Highway 101. He wanted to end his life. When the officers arrived, one of them appealed to the man to come back over the fence and that he would give him a hug. A hug? How often have you heard this in this kind of a situation? He was a very wise policeman who knew the right thing to say, and eventually the man came back over the fence, and guess what? He did want that hug. People just need to know that they're cared about, that someone is there for them. A hug, a smile, a word of encouragement, a shoulder to lean on, all these things could actually make a huge difference in someone's life. You could help. I could help. We all could be a little kinder, and studies show that actually being kind is good for us too. It reduces anxiety, blood pressure, stimulates the reward centers in our brain, and lowers blood pressure. So I would call that a win-win. And that is my Positively Kelly for today. Jeremy,
Yes.
You wanted to bring that
I did. I didn't think it was appropriate, but
okay.
We will bring that. Can I read you something? It was so weird. You know how timing is everything.
Yeah.
So as you were doing the Positively Kelly, you know, I was scrolling through and I had seen that a friend of mine was going through a hard time.
Okay.
And I was like, your words are ringing true from what she was saying. And she posted this. Listen to this, Kelly.
Okay, yes.
One day, you'll tell your story of what you've overcome and what you're going through now, and then it will be part of someone else's survival guide.
And
because of sharing your story.
And that is true. You know, people don't take advice very well, but you know what? If they feel cared about, then that helps them through whatever situation they're dealing with. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And that's part of what you said about being kinder.
Right.
Like if you listen to somebody, like giving that guy a hug off the ledge, being kinder, and guess what? Now he's going to tell that story. You're telling it on air.
Right.
It's like that becomes part of his survival guide.
Absolutely.
And if somebody else hears that, instead of maybe going to the ledge, they go, I need a hug.
That's right.
I need to talk.
Exactly. We need interaction. And there are people who have tried to commit suicide that come back and say they do talk to other folks about that sort of thing and what they were feeling and what they needed and how they got there. And I was surprised at that story. That really blew me away.
Yeah. I'm surprised.
He talked him off of the ledge by saying, hey, dude, I'm here for you. I'm standing right here. I'll give you a hug. I've got this for you. Just come on back over here. It's amazing.
Let me tell you, there's always, it seems bad now, and my mom has always said, you know, you've heard the saying, suicide is a temporary, is a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
That's right.
And you can get over it. Just give somebody a hug today.
Yeah, reach out to somebody if you're feeling that way. So thanks, Jared. I liked your words. They came right along at the right time.
At the right time.
Yeah, they did. All right, so much more fun on Ozarks Fox AM. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back. Hey!
Come on. Oh,
that was
there we go.
Wait.
Okay. Up, all the, ah! We're hitting lights! That was fun, though.
It's